adding a new layer. I'll name it brush, and I'm going to turn all the other layers off. Now I'm going to use my lasso tool by hitting L on the keyboard, and I'm going to make the color on the toolbar black and white with the black on top. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to make a design. And I'm going to fill it with black. I'll use my paint bucket by hitting G, and the paint bucket is the second tool. And I'll click inside the selection, and I'll deselect, and I'll save. I'm going to hit M on the keyboard to get the marquee, and I'm going to make a broad selection around the shape I made. Going up to the top of the user interface to edit, I'm going to go to Define Brush Preset. It'll show me the brush icon and assign it a number. I'm simply going to click OK. And you'll see immediately that your brush tool has become that pattern that we just defined. I'm going to deselect. I'm going to hit V to go to my Move tool. And I'm going to delete that layer now. I no longer need it. I'll put all my layers back on. And I'm going to add a new blank layer. And I'll name it Custom Brush. Now I'll hit B to get the brush tool. Now I want to be able to control this. So I'm going to go to Window at the top of the user interface, and I'm going to choose Brush Settings. And it will give you a menu with all the brushes inside of Photoshop. And you'll see the one that you just made listed, and it will have a blue outline around it the first time you use it. And you'll see that just like when we right click, we get the menu to adjust our brush settings. You'll see that the one that we accessed called brush settings is much more robust. I can reduce the size, I can change the spacing, I can change the rotation of it. So now it's just a matter of going in and putting that design somewhere on the garments of each of the men. And I'm going to pick a color, so I'll go to my swatches and I'll choose a color I like, and maybe I'll reduce the size of it, and I'll just go in and start to paint that design on. Changing the size maybe, and maybe changing the rotation of it. And once again, I'm going to find a blend mode in the layers, clicking on the word normal and pulling my cursor over the different terms. And if I go beyond the edges of the jacket, just as we did with the face and the arm, I can put a layer mask on. I can go in and clean up where maybe that pattern has gone off onto the wall or some of the adjoining characters in the picture. At this point, it's a matter of referring to the video samples provided with the tutorial files.